And just take a breath and drop into that beautiful, loving embrace. And just relax into that. And let all the activity of the weekend and the busyness of the weekend just fall away for now. And feel yourself coming more and more into this beautiful, quiet moment. This place of peace that exists inside, like a small, quiet flame in your heart. And take another breath into that. And give that heart flame some of that oxygen of your awareness, some of the oxygen of your love and your gratitude. Because you created being here. You said yes to being in this now, in this time and place of receiving, of creating, of affirming, and saying yes to the energy of family and the support and the honoring that Kryon and the entourage brings to the room. You said yes to that creation. And from that yes, something beautiful has been built. Something that continues to flow, continues to grow inside of you like that flame. As you add your breath, as you add your love, and as you add your presence to the love and the honoring of Kryon and the entourage.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. There's so many times I've said this. I know who you are. It's a stretch for so many of you to believe that. One of the first questions the human asks when I come in is, who are you? As though there had to be some kind of singular entity with a name. It's caused because there is a singular person talking. But that's not the energy that is dispersed at this moment. The voice that you hear comes from my partner with his intellect, with his intelligence, his culture, his consciousness. And we've talked about a third language, and the third language then activates the entourage that's multidimensional in the room around you. The entourage does not come in with me. I've said that before. It comes in with you. Pieces and parts of that which is the divinity of the soul, which has been discussed even this day, are in the room because you're here. The human being is so much more powerful than you think. If you feel joyful, if you feel euphoric, if you feel you're learning, you're aware then of pieces and parts of you which are now being activated and active around you. And you're not alone, for that then interfaces with the others who are feeling the same thing, and that develops into an entourage. When I come in, I am speaking, and the entourage that is you then speaks to you. And it's not limited to the ones in the chairs. This is the beauty of a multi-dimensional galaxy, universe. It's the beauty of the physics that you don't even understand yet. The ones listening to this who are not here are here. They're listening in another time frame To us, there is no other time frame. It's all happening at once. It's now. That cannot be explained to you. But they're part of your entourage, even though they're listening later. They're related right now to that which you are feeling. And that is a beautiful system. For so many decades, for centuries, spiritual leaders have felt these things around them. The love of God is this way. And sometimes it's so confusing and yet so beautiful that you can sit there with your arms open and you know you're loved. There are some who have related this to the earth so greatly that they will only do it perhaps in the beach or the mountains. And when they do that, they feel all of nature is with them. The divas in the forest, hear them singing, know that the sky is attuned to them. And none of that really is the way it is. It's simply that God is everywhere and everything, and so are you. I want you to leave this place with an idea. You've got a secret. You're connected with everything. And that everything actually might have an attitude, a consciousness at some level that knows you're there. You might walk into a place that is completely and totally vacant of any other human, and the elements know you're there. You can't hear the singing that goes on, that appreciates the light where you walk. And you can be alone in the forest or on the path or simply walking along the grass. And the Merkabah that you have, that spiritual bubble that you carry that is divine, is so related to the Creator that even the insects know who you are. Things change because you're there. And if you hadn't seen this in history, you'd think perhaps I was making it up. But you have so many writings of the masters of the planet changing the elements where they walked. They were not that much more divine than you are. They might have had a different purpose at the time. Perhaps their DNA was working at a higher level. But the message they had was one of example. You can be just like me. That was their message. All through history, right up to the present, there are masters on this planet who can still do these things. And they're examples of consciousness over physics. But more than that you are so related to everything around you that you're one with everything. It's how you treat this and how you work with it that really shows Spirit your belief. We have touched on so many things. I want you to leave this place not thinking that there's a grand puzzle that you've got to figure out. Here's the answer to almost everything you might ask. On the other side of the veil, there is not darkness or misunderstanding. Because you cannot penetrate this veil completely, you believe that on the other side there's mystery. And I want to tell you, on the other side, there is love, benevolence, and a full knowing of who you are. A piece of your soul is there. What I'm trying to tell you is that no matter what you're trying to solve, no matter what you're trying to do, or even understand, even if there's been too much for you to grasp this day, on the other side of the veil, there is complete and total understanding of who you are and what you're trying to do. If you reach out, you may not understand what you're getting or the hand that you're holding, but Spirit does. The part of you that is bigger than you even called your higher self, knows you better than you do. Because on the other side of the veil, there's a full sense of multidimensional reality, of all that is, and it's hidden from you. What I'm trying to tell you is that part of you knows you. On the other side of the veil, it is allied with the Creator. You got a friend there. There's no mystery there. I want you to relax with this. So many human beings trying to reach out to God, and they think God is this enormous, enormous level of intelligence. And it's not personal, but it is. And the personal part is the fact that you are part of this enormous intelligence. You're an integral part. That's the message. It really is. How can you put this into a practical manner, a practical way? Dear ones, you only have certain ways of linear communication. You can only do certain kinds of things that are meaningful to you. We could speak all day about the many parts of you and the soul on the other side of the veil. The very veil itself is mysterious. Where is it? How is it? And so we say to you there's one thing that is a commonality that sails across the veil. And that one thing has some parts to it. The one thing, of course, is love. Compassion is part of that, and if you put the complement of what goes with compassion, it's joy. And if you look at joy, there has to be laughter. And so one of the best things you can do to break through the veil, to break the ice of what is what and how it works, is to sit down and be joyful. To take a deep breath and smile and know you are loved and that there's a hand up there in metaphors, in your brain. See it, perhaps, as part of you reaching down to shake hands with you. And as you do this, you're smiling. You're not in need. You're not pleading. You're not suffering. The God help me in fear is a bubble you're not going to get out of. Do you realize this? You make the veil thicker when you fear what's going on. But if you have the wisdom within all that's happening in your life to sit down and smile and feel the joy and the comfort that God knows who you are and Spirit knows that there is no accident that you're even sitting there. And then you realize there's a system. I'm in it. I'm part of it. It's me. I don't understand it. But everything on the other side of the veil is benevolent and knows what's going on. And as you put your hand through that veil metaphorically, you can laugh out loud. Laugh out loud. Enjoy that there are answers and solutions, something bigger than you can imagine, and the veil suddenly gets so thin because you have the compassion of understanding and the joy and the wisdom to laugh. Greatest spiritual leaders on this planet, greatest ones, are known to laugh a lot. Think back